In the bustling city of NYC, a profound crisis was unfolding. In the modest house on Elm Street, Rose, a young woman of 25, found herself facing a dilemma that threatened to unravel the very fabric of her being. Her mother, Margaret, was afflicted with a sickness so deadly it had plunged the family into a whirlpool of despair. Rose, a devoted daughter, bore the weight of the world upon her shoulders, for she was the sole caregiver for her ailing mother. Days and nights blurred together as Rose tended to Margaret, who lay frail and pale in her sickbed. The prognosis was grim, but there was a flicker of hope, a sliver of light at the end of a tunnel in the form of an expensive medical treatment. Desperation clung to Rose like a shroud, for she lacked the means to procure the necessary funds. Rose's life had been a tapestry of trials and tribulations. The men who had come and gone in her life had proven fickle and unreliable. Her pleas for financial assistance to save her mother fell on deaf ears. Family friends once close and dear had abandoned the family in their pursuit of distant dreams. Rose was alone, and as despair gnawed at her heart, a thought, forbidden and tantalizing, began to take root. Her mother, a woman of strong faith, had instilled in Rose the virtues of purity and chastity. Even though Rose was not yet a believer, the sacredness of her body was a treasure that she never wanted desecrated. But now, her mother's teachings seemed to be in direct conflict with the urgent need to save her life, for the men who remained in her life offered to help only if she agreed to sleep with them. One fateful afternoon, Rose found herself leafing through the pages of an old Bible, its leather cover worn and aged. As her fingers turned the brittle pages, her eyes fell upon a passage from the book of Proverbs. It spoke of not despising a thief when he stole to satisfy his hunger. A rush of emotions surged through her. Could this be a sign? A justification for her desperate act? Her resolve wavered. The words of the Bible seemed to tolerate a path she never thought she would tread. The moral dilemma weighed heavy upon her, for she believed she could prostitute herself, not to satisfy her own desires, but to procure the means to save her mother. According to her interpretation of the verse, she should not be despised, for her actions were driven by love for her mother, just like a thief who steals food because of hunger. Yet, the following day, as she prepared to meet a male suitor at a dimly lit hotel room, fate intervened once more. She read again the same chapter as the last time, and this time she read beyond the previous verse. It spoke of the thief, and how when he is caught, he must repay sevenfold. The words struck her with a force that shook her to her core. In the dappled light of her bedroom, Rose realized the profound truth that had eluded her. Severe necessity, though a formidable adversary, did not absolve one of the weight of their actions. The thief, when caught, was not to be despised, but he was still a thief. The gravity of his circumstances did not nullify his transgressions, for he must pay sevenfold. The revelation was a painful one. Rose's heart ached as she grappled with the depth of her need, the severity of her desperation, and the sin she contemplated. Her mother's teachings, founded in love and faith, remained the guiding light. In her mother's name, Rose vowed to find another way, to seek help without compromising her dignity. The road ahead felt treacherous, and the journey was far from over. But as Rose gazed upon her ailing mother, she knew that she had made the right choice. She would find a way, through faith, love, and the strength of her character, to overcome the darkest of nights. Rose may have been tempted by the shadows, but she had chosen to walk in the light for God's sake, her mother's sake, for her own sake, and for the purity of her soul. This perhaps would be the beginning of Rose's journey to authentic faith in Jesus.